Okay. Final score 0-0 at the racecourse. I'm getting no visual picture at all, but I'm told I'm live, so I don't know if this is going to turn into an unintentional radio broadcast. I'll try and plug a different webcam in. But if you are able to hear me, please throw in the questions. People are on, so I'm assuming you must be able to hear me. I'll try and see if I can get a camera plugged in, a different camera, because this clearly isn't liking the setup I've got at the moment. Yeah, no visual. Yeah, if you can hear me, well, I suppose we can get started. But I'll just plug a camera in here and see. I'm in a familiar place right now in that I sort of feel okay about that, but other people around me aren't so convinced. Hello there, Miyagi Kai. Let's see, I'll see if this different camera will work. But yeah, I mean, I thought Chesterfield were the better side in a game that was sort of fairly even, but they were probably slightly the best of the team, to be frank. They made better chances than us, certainly. There were spells when they were on top and spells when we were more on top, and certainly they looked more threatening during their spells. But their last two opponents have beaten them by stopping. I think we did a fairly good job of doing that. Just trying to see if I can fix this. Like I can't. So yeah, it was a bit of a scrap. We rode our luck at times. Maybe they didn't make that many chances against us, but we made very little. Jeff Lang asking, do we have to do some crowdfunding to get the manager a decent top? I didn't notice. I thought was he not in normal sort of outfits? The usual coaching stuff? I don't know. I didn't from the far side. I saw him do the interview before, and that was quite close to me. And it seemed to be just in the usual stuff there. I don't know. So, yeah, we lacked a bit of creativity going forwards, didn't we? Really, we struggled to feed the strikers with good, accurate stuff. There's maybe a bit too much looking for Omotayo long. But, good scrapping attitudes in midfield. Young and Rutherford is what really covered lots of stuff. I know you can't see me. I'm sorry. I plugged a new camera in, and it doesn't seem to be picking it up. So sorry about that. I wonder if I can change streams while streaming. That would seem unlikely, wouldn't it? No. So it's I went straight onto the webcam streaming thing here, and to be honest with you, it's not giving me many ways to change it. So I don't know. Throw some stuff at me, chaps, if you want to. If you've got any questions. Lee B. Do I read Red Passion regularly? No, because it's bad for my mental health. The consensus is we were awful. Do you think players read it and get affected? Right, okay. When you talk to the players, they tend to say they don't really look at stuff. But I think they do, to be honest with you. Whether they get affected, I think is a different matter. I think there's plenty of people who are angered by criticism. And I would say as well that I find players know when they've played badly. They know when the team's played badly. And whereas, okay, when they get an interviewed, it's not the done thing, is it, to say you can play very well. They will actually accept it as long as it's sort of reasonable comment. I'm pleased to say I've had a couple of players fairly recently sort of say they don't mind that much when I've sort of said someone's played badly because they feel I've not called them out on it. I've just tried to give an honest opinion. I think that there's an attitude there's a difference between seeing it that way and just having people abusive. If that makes sense. So whether they get affected, I don't know. I think some do try and avoid certain parts and maybe not others. So I don't know. Lee, you're quite right. I'm getting into a dinosaur suit. I'm very much Mr. Velociraptor. And you're saying you find it a toxic place at times and it goes too far on there at times. I mean, I've got to say, Lee, I agree. And just to give context on that, I think this club only exists because of Red Passion. uh, the troubled times 10 years ago. If it wasn't for the fact that fans were mobilised to a great extent on social media, and I don't just mean raising the bond, I also mean just organising opposition to people who are trying to damage the club, I think the club would have gone bust. I genuinely think the club wouldn't exist. We would be a Phoenix club now, possibly not at this ground. Possibly this ground wouldn't exist. So I strongly believe that Red Passion saved this football club, no question. But it's changed since then. I think it's changed partly because social media has changed. Let's be honest. I think social media has become a more adversarial place where people have opposite opinions and shout at each other. Society's changed like that as well, hasn't it? Let's be honest. And I think it's also changed slightly because maybe some people who were on Red Passion before were enjoying the battle against uh, dubious owners, but then once that threat has gone, should I say, maybe want to keep arguing and look for something else to complain about, I think, And I'm not trying to say this in a stupid, oh, you're not allowed to criticize the club or the people within it because you are. Fans are allowed to. But yeah, it's a complicated one, isn't it? Can I just say, I'll just skip down because Liam Roberts has summed up exactly how I look at that. Quite a poor performance, and I'd agree, not awful, like Lee was saying, Red Passion may be suggesting, but it's quite a poor performance. But it's another point on the board, and now move on to the next game. I mean, yeah, exactly. 3 clean sheets in a row. Also, I would say we've got 7 games left now. There's only one really against the sides in the playoff mix, so hopefully we'll hit a few sides that haven't got much to play for because there's no relegation. And we also have 4 of the 7 at home, so it is in our hands, isn't it? Taff Richardson, yes, good man. Firstly, did the ref leave his yellow card in the changing room before half time? I thought the referee was odd. Some of the tackles he was allowing, but they weren't tackles, they were fouls. I mean, it was a bit silly. It's all well letting the game flow, but letting people kick each other, that doesn't matter. And then, as you rightly say, it was brilliant. The first one was on Vassell by Rowe. It was only about 2 minutes in, and it was a yellow card. I mean, he just got up a couple of, he just followed through and went through his ankle with the studs. And he had to book him, and he knew he wasn't going to. The Pearson, it was right in front of me, so because there's no fans, I could hear it wonderfully. Pearson just ran up to him and shouted at him, "Oh, well, we can all have a free hit now then, can we?" That's brilliant. Well done, Sean. So